na clearly ginaya talaga ng BINI yung song na merong lawsuit galing sa panig ni
Ladies and gentlemen,
that is the BINI we have today. Alam niyo sa panahon natin ngayon, sobrang dami na naglalabas ang napakalalaking artists o mga napakalalaking groups when it comes to the music industry. And as a Filipino myself, sobra ako naging proud sa ating nation's girl group na BINI. At para sa lahat ng mga taong nanonood ng video na to, just so you know, I'm a Bloom. I'm such a huge fan of these girls. Also, maraming tao yung nagsasabi na ginaya lang naman nila yung K-pop o kung ano-ano pa yung sinasabi nila against BINI. Pero hindi mo rin matatanggi na ito yung grupo na may potential para ipakilala worldwide yung OPM. And with that being said, let's take a look at their very latest single called Cherry on Top. At sa dami ng songs na nagawa ng BINI, Cherry on Top for me is very unique. Why? To be honest, ito kasi yung pinaka-hinihintay ko. Na kung kailan yung OPM may kipagsabayan sa international stage when it comes to the music pop industry. And in my own opinion, Cherry on Top has the potential of doing this. As a matter of fact, isa ako sa libo-libong tao na naghintay sa premiere ng song na to. Tapos nung finally napanood ko na siya, sobra akong na-amaze sa pagkakagawa ng music video. Sobrang high quality and the music itself na halos maririnig mo lang sa ibang mga international artists. And of course, like Pantropico or any other BINI songs, this song, Cherry on Top, also does represent our culture when it comes to music. Noon pa man mahilig na tayo mga Filipinos love songs, especially around 19th century, where kundiman was discovered. In the Philippines, a type of love song known as the kundiman had existed since the early 19th century. But in the early 20th century, kundiman had developed into an art song. Look, we don't have to deep dive into this, so let's jump off a little further. Sa panahon naming mga 90s, when it comes to OPM, na-introduce namin yung mga girl groups and bubblegum type of music ng mga kapanahonan ng Jaboom Twins, Sex Bomb Dancers, Viva Hot Babes, Mocha Girls. I'm pretty sure those were the first ones when it comes to OPM. If may na-miss man ako, let me know in the comment section. But for now, let's get back to BINI. And of course, when it comes to Cherry on Top's lyrics, may wordplay din talaga eh. Sabi nga sa chorus ng Cherry on Top, if you want it sweet, got that sugar on lock. If you want that spice, I can turn the heat up. So basically yung pagiging poetic ng mga Filipinos around kundiman days. And then the bubblegum type of music around the early 21st century. If you mix it together,
ladies and gentlemen,
that is the BINI we have today. The song started off with A-flat major 7 and then D, F, and the A-flat over G, and comes back down to E-flat and G, habang nakahold lang yung G as its bass. And then C and the F over C, which makes it to C sus4, and eventually down to C major. Well, first of all, you have to identify the difference between a major and a minor chord. So when you say major chord, ito yung laging masaya pakinggan na chord. And kabaliktaran naman dun sa minor, siya yung malungkot. Which makes this song very unique since this song is in the key of E-flat. And the 6th chord of a scale is usually a minor. But in this song, Cherry on Top, ginawa nila tong major. So the music basically tells you, not specifically, na hindi tayo mag-a-add ng kahit anong element ng kalungkutan dito sa song na to. So if isa-summarize natin yung chord progression, they have 4, 3, and 6. And then 4, 3, 5, and 6. So after ko panoorin yung release ng Cherry on Top on its very first release sa YouTube, may nakapagsabi sa akin na parang katunog daw siya ng song na New Jeans ng Super Shy.
What? Nabangga po ng tao yung track. Ay yung...
Parang katunog daw siya ng Super Shy ng New Jeans.
Yun. But at that specific time, never ko pa narinig yung song, so I listened to it and I was like, oh nga. So hindi talaga naiwasan ng mga fans na i-compare yung Cherry on Top sa song na to. And there were even bashers na nagsasabing ginaya lang ng production team ng BINI yung song na New Jeans. When it comes to its music production, halos pares na pares talaga sila. And it's because they're both in the same music genre called Modern Garage or bubblegum. So as I mentioned a while ago, Cherry on Top is in the key of E flat, and surprisingly, Super Shy is also in the key of E flat. And when it comes to its tempo, Cherry on Top is running around 150 beats per minute, while Super Shy is also running around 150 beats per minute. So, anong pinagkaiba? Since sinasabi nga ng mga tao na clearly ginaya talaga ng BINI yung song na alam nyo na yun. Pero ako sa totoo lang, hindi ako naniniwala dyan because there are huge differences between these two songs. Cherry on Top manages to create a unique chord progression as we talked about earlier, while Super Shy remains in its simple and not very complicated chord progression. So as we talked about a while ago, Cherry on Top has 4, 3, and 6. And 4, 3, 5, and 6 in its chord progression. While on the other hand, Super Shy has only 3 and 2 in its chord progression. And that's all throughout ng song nila. And if we're gonna talk about the beat, Super Shy has a longer and unique bars compared to Cherry on Top's rhythmic pattern. Also, BINI's Cherry on Top describes what love is about. You know, parang pinopromote yung sarili niya dun sa taong gusto niya. While Super Shy talks about yung pagiging torpe o hindi nga ma-express or hindi nga makausap yung taong gusto niya. They really might sound the same because like I said, they're in a both or the same type of music, pop genre. And if there's an issue with that, edi sana lahat na ng reggae songs merong lawsuit galing sa panig ni Bob Marley or Toots and Maytals. Diba? At alam mo kung ano pa yung isa sa pinakamalaking difference? Wala silang A. Pero in the end, hindi lang naman BINI yung sumisikat dito eh. Tayo ding mga Pilipino, dahil bit-bit ng mga binibining to, yung bandera natin. Libre lang naman maging proud. Kung maging proud ka, for sure, ikatutuwa mo pa yan. At hindi lang ikaw, pati yung mga taong sumusuporta sa BINI. Spread the positivity, ika nga nila, di ba? Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. And kayo, sa tingin nyo ba ginaya talaga? Yun na guys, nalabot yung camera ko. But once again, thank you for watching the video. And if you like watching those kind of videos, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and leave a like. And kung may iba pa kayong mga videos na gusto nyo gawa ko ng mga technical analyses, please let me know in the comment section. Once again, thank you.